Hi everyone, so I just got the new XHD from MQC and I'm going to be building that out for us here. I looked and didn't find any videos on it, so I thought I would build one out. I'm going to be documenting it. I'll try and fast forward through all the boring stuff, but wanted to get one put out there. So I'm going to start with showing what comes in this bag from MQC. Then I'm going to dry fit everything together, well, the frame together, and when I see possible trouble spots I will point out what I did to get around them, and hopefully this helps somebody out. So this is basically the frame. We have the arms, we have the bottom plate, another plate, top plate, standoffs, some pieces that are going to go somewhere, I'm not sure where yet, a couple of cool battery straps, some nuts, standoffs, etc. And this is a Xiaomi Yi that Nick sent for me to try out. So I'll be putting this on there and trying this out. And I'll definitely let him know how that goes. And then this is the VTX piece here. Let me get that into the frame. This is the VTX piece here. That'll go on the back of the quad, and my VTX will attach to that. So in addition to those, I'm going to be using the XSB receiver. I have a TBS Unify Pro HV Race that I'll be using. I'm going to be using a Tempest all-in-one flight controller. Got that from Heli Nation. I'll be using a Runcam Swift for the camera. Got some Emax 2600 kV 2205 motors. And I originally was going to go with XM20As for the ESCs, but I have since ordered some DYS XSD ESCs that I'm going to try instead. Looking toward D-Shot, and that may be the way to go. So I don't quite have those in yet, so I won't be dry fitting those tonight. Okay, so I'm going to assemble the frame now, and this is pretty straightforward. I ran through it once already as a dry fit, so this will save us some time. So you can read the MQC here. MQC. I'm just going to set that straight down on there, and it's just like basically the quad would be upside down at this point. So I'm just going to put one screw through the outside hole of the bottom plate, and then one screw through that of the arm, because the inner holes are where the standoffs for the flight controller are going to go. So now if I look at this and I say, okay, that's straight up, that's down, so I would know that the front of the quad is this way. And I look at our plate here, one side has a rounded edge with a few extra slots on it. Those outside slots are where the bracket for your camera is going to go. So now if I look at this, I know that the front is that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that there, and I'm going to just real loosely attach one standoff just to sort of hold the plates in place. And then all I'm basically going to do is just start sliding an arm in. I'll put another screw through the outside holes here, and then I'll lightly attach another standoff. And these arms lock in place, so just kind of keep them semi-close to where they're going to be. Slide another one in here. Grab the plate, grab the and attach the standoff. And again, I'm just attaching them real lightly. It's basically just enough to hold the screws in place, or to hold the arms and the mid plate in place. Now the last arm, gonna go in, line up the holes, put the last screw through, put my standoff in, and then I'll just snug them. It's not tight at all. They're just snug. So now I look at this again. You can see MQC. You read that. That'll be when you fly and you tilt her forward. You can read MQC there, and we've got the rounded edge of the mid plate facing the front of the quad. Again, those slots right there are where the camera brackets are going to be. So here's the two pieces that came in the kit that I originally said wasn't sure what they were for, but it's your camera bracket plate. And I got this Runcam Swift brand new, and so when it came brand new, it came with this plate attached to it. But it also comes with a backup, a different kind of back plate. So what I did is I replaced this with that, because when that flight controller's in there and you drop this into those slots, there's not enough room. If you're using the same kind of flight controller I am, an all-in-one, there wasn't enough room because those little extensions there were actually hitting the flight controller. So I'm just going to use that real simple plate, and it's just going to drop in there like that. And you can see that it's going to drop onto or slide into those two front slots. So I just attached the camera, angled it up a little bit, and just snugged it up a little bit. So okay, so with the standoffs on there, now it's real simple. I'm just going to slide a screw up through the plate and the arm, and you might just have to wiggle this a little bit, but that's why you leave your standoffs a little bit loose, give it some play. And then I'm just gonna thread on the plastic flight controller standoffs. Anyway, so that's just loose, and then basically your camera will drop into those front slots right there. And then this plate, there's a little cutout in the front. You can see one side has the cutout and one doesn't. That's the front for the camera. And those two slots right there and right there line up with the top two pegs of the camera bracket. So those just plop on there like that. And those four screws line up with the red standoffs. And then assuming you got the XHD for the reason of wanting to be able to record from high def video, so you're going to have a GoPro or a Yi probably. I have the Xiaomi Yi, and this is the TPU camera bracket, camera stand, whatever you call it. And then those four holes line up with the four holes of that. So from there, it's just going to go, you're going to go right through those four holes, through the plate, and into the standoff. And that's basically your frame assembled. I'm not going to put it all the way together. I'm not going to tighten everything out right now because I'm about to start wiring up the flight controller. I'm gonna assemble that. I'm gonna do all the wiring, the ESC wiring and everything with it out of the quad right now, because that's just the way I like to do it. It makes it easier to put your wires up through the flight controller and do my soldering. So I'm gonna do that now, And then I'll come back and I will basically tighten everything up, and I'll attach the flight controller, and then I'll wire up the motors and the ESCs, and we'll be ready to rock. So that's it for now.